Hey boys and girls, it's Miss Baker back again with your video for math today. Today we are going to review our study guide for our math test. Remember that tomorrow we're going to take our math test together on Zoom. Hopefully, if for some reason it doesn't work out, then we will take it when we come back on Tuesday. But we're going to try to do it through Zoom if possible. That way we don't get too far behind by being out. If you take a minute to look at your study guide, it gives you an example of ones and tens and how 10 ones makes 110 and how 10 tens makes 100. So your job is to count the base 10 blocks. So we're counting hundreds, tens, and ones on the first one. If you look, you have two hundreds flats, so that would be 200s. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, so we're going to put a 4 right there. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones, so we're going to put a 7 there. If you put it all together, 200s, 4 tens, and 7 ones makes the number 247. Does everybody see that? Okay, I'm going to give you just a minute to do the next one. Count your hundreds, your tens, and your ones, and then put it all together to make your number. All right, let's count together. Here I see 100 flat. Then I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. Then I see 2 ones. So if I put that together, that's going to be 152. Just like that, a 1 in the hundreds place, a 5 in the tens place, and a 2 in the ones place. Good job. Let's move on to the next one. You're going to do the same thing. Count your hundreds, your tens, and your ones. So count those quickly, and then we're going to check together. Did you count 2 hundreds and 3 tens and 6 ones? If you did, you're correct. 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 6 ones makes the number 236. Y'all are doing a great job. I know you're getting all these very easily. All right, let's do the last two. Count your hundreds, tens, and ones. I'm going to give you just a minute, and then we can check our paper. Count the hundreds, tens, and ones. All right, let's look. We have 100. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens, and 5 ones. So 100, 7 tens, and 5 ones makes the number 175. I hope you got that one right. I'm sure you did. And look at the last one. Here we're counting 1, 2, 3 hundreds, 1, 2, 2 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones. So 3 hundreds, 2 tens, and 8 ones makes the number 328. All right, guys, I know you did a great job on that one. Keep making sure that you're touching each one as you count. All right, turn your paper over on the back. On the back, it's similar to what you did on the front, except instead of telling how many hundreds, tens, and ones, breaking it down, you're going to count and write the number. So let's do the first one. Here we go. 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 341, 342, 343. So I'm going to write 343. Now I'm going to go back and check my numbers to make sure it's right. I see 3 hundreds, I see 4 tens, and I see 3 ones. Excellent job, guys. Let's do the next one. 100, 200, 300, 400, 401, 402, 403, 404. So we would write it like this. There's no tens, so remember you put a 0. We have hundreds, so they go there. We have ones, so they go here, but we don't have any tens. So you put a 0 in the tens place. You're doing great. Let's keep going. 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, and 256. Excellent. Go back and check. There's 2 in the hundreds, 5 in the tens, and 6 in the ones. All right, you go ahead and count the rest on your page, and then we're going to check them together. All right, did you get, for the next one, 331? There's 3 in the hundreds place, 3 in the tens place, and 1 in the ones place. Good job. And the next one, 429. That's almost another 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the hundreds, 2 in the tens, and 3, 6, 9 in the ones, because we can count those by threes. If I had one more, I would have an extra 10 to make 430. Let's look at the next one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the hundreds, 1, 2, 3 in the tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the ones to make 535. Y'all are doing great. Remember to count carefully. This one has 1 in the hundreds place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the tens place, and 2 in the ones place to make the number 182. Let's look at the last one on this side. There's 1 200s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones to make the number 266. I'm super proud of you guys because I know you got all of those right. Let's move on to the next page of our study guide. Here we're going to answer some questions about place value and the values of a number. So let's look. The example says, how many tens in 146? They said 4 because there's 4 tens, and then they put 40 underneath because that's the value of 4 tens. So we're going to do our problems the same way. Let's move across to the next one. How many hundreds in 652? If you look in the hundreds place, you see 6. How much would 6 hundreds be? If you said 600, you are right. And we'll circle that one so we'll know that that's what we're doing. Everybody see that? Let's look at the next one. How many hundreds in 910? If you look in the hundreds place, I'm going to underline it because it helps me to remember. I see 9 hundreds. Well, if I count by hundreds, those 9, that's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. So I know that 9 hundreds is worth 900. Let's move on to this one. This one says, how many ones in 449? Well, I know where my ones place is. And I have 9 in the ones place. And I know that 9 ones means 9. It's easy, guys, if you just think about it. Let's look at the next one. 505. How many tens? Well, this one's a tricky one. Let's look at our tens place. There it is, right there. What number is in the tens place? A 0. And we know that if you have 0, that means you have nothing. So we're going to put 0 for our value and circle it. Did you get that one? I thought that one was kind of tricky. I'm glad you got it. Let's look at the next one. How many ones in 961? I'm going to underline the number in the ones place. There's 1 1. So we know that its value is what? 1. Y'all are awesome. Let's keep moving. I'm going to move my computer over a little bit. There we go. How many hundreds in 153? Well, when you say the word, you think about it. 153. You hear yourself saying 100. We can look at our place value spot for hundreds. We see a 1 in the hundreds place. We know that 100 is worth 100. Let's look at the other side. I'm having trouble with my computer being in my way. I'm sorry, guys. How many tens? Here's another one. In the tens place, we have a 0. Remember, that tells us there's no tens there, so it has no value. 0 tens means 0. Look at the next one. How many ones in 772? Let's find the ones place and underline it. There's a 2 in the ones place, so I'm going to put a 2 over here. And I know that 2 ones is equal to 2. Good job, guys. How many hundreds in 384? See if you can do that one. How many hundreds in 384? All right, let's underline the number in the hundreds place. We know there's a 3 there. We know that if we count by hundreds, 100, 200, 300, we count 300. Good job. I'm going to give you just a minute to do the last 4, and then we will count those together. All right, guys, let's look at the last ones. It says, how many tens in 39? If you underline the 3, because that one's just a 2-digit number. Remember, the tens come first and then the ones. You should have underlined the 3, and we know that 3 tens is worth 30. Good job. How many ones in 97? Let's underline our ones. There's 7 ones. And that is equal to 7. Did you get that right? I bet you did. Let's look at the next one. How many hundreds in 278? We're going to underline the 2 in the hundreds place. We have 2 hundreds. We know that 2 hundreds is equal to 200. Y'all are doing such an awesome job. And the last one. How many hundreds in 20? That one's a tricky one too. Let's look. It's a 2-digit number, so are there any hundreds? No, there's not any hundreds, because our 100 place would be right here, because it's hundreds, tens, and ones. So if we have 20, we don't have any hundreds. So that would be the same as having a 0. And we know that that would be equal to 0. Awesome job, guys. So you're going to practice your study guide to prepare for your test tomorrow. Just a reminder, you should be reading the passage, The New Friend, every day. We're going to do some questions on that on Friday. And also, you can be working on your decodable passage, The Ranch, and filling in the blanks in the sentences with the words below, and then answering the questions about the passage. Remember to try to answer incomplete sentences. I know y'all are doing a great job on your work, and I can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.